Hey guys, how is it going? I know it kind of looks a bit weird, so I promise I'm going to get this shaved before this weekend. So just experimented something and it was a disaster. Okay, so today is going to be another interview. So it's again from Region 30. So we did a lot of 31 and then just wanted to do from Region 30 and 29. I haven't got anybody, so until I get somebody to give me that interview, I'll be getting it from whoever comes to me. So a lot of people come out from 31 and 30, so that's the reason why you see this a lot. So this player is, when I started talking to him, we kind of got into a long discussion. Even actually after the recording, we spoke quite a bit, and it's definitely a good conversation. For me, it was special because he is from the region that I'm in from. So he's from down under Australia. So and we could connect very well. So and this guy has a lot of knowledge. I mean, even after post recording the discussion we had, I learned a lot. So every interview I go into, I learn tons and tons, irrespective of size of player, where they come from, the background, the alliances that they represent. It's amazing how everybody has gained or acquired the knowledge, and now they are willing to share it with the new players. And also, in the process of interviewing, I'm learning a lot. So I'm happy to introduce you to Kaotyc. So is that how it's pronounced? Sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. He is from Region 30, and he's been playing from very long time. So he did answer my classic question: how long you guys are playing this game? So I hope you will enjoy and also learn in the process. And if you have any questions, as usual, please leave that in the comment section. And if you have any specific question to be asked to this player, you can leave those in the comments, and I'll definitely get back to you with the answers. And without any further delay, here is the interview. Oh, I'm sorry. So if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe to my channel. And if you like this video, hit that like button as hard as you can. The reason why I'm asking you guys to subscribe is when I looked at my metrics, 75% of my visitors who view these videos are unsubscribed, no, non-subscribed people. So it was kind of weird, like, wow, 75% of people who watch are not subscribed to my channel. Again, it's my humble request. If you have not subscribed, please do subscribe. It'll definitely help me growing the channel. So thanks again, and enjoy the interview. Bye. Thanks a lot for joining us for this another interview with the Empire Z player. So I really thank you, because it's giving time is not easy with all the busy schedule we have, especially on the weekends. And I really thank you from bottom of my heart for doing this for us.
Sure. Yep. No worries.
Good. So I usually ask about the time people spent on the game. Again, it's to establish the connection to the viewers and how long you've been playing. So do you remember when you kind of started?
The game was probably 2 weeks old, I think, when I looked it up and downloaded it, and I popped into Region 2, I believe. Well, I know. Yeah. So.
And which region did you start? And then can you also walk us through your journey on the alliances you've been in? Because I think it's the early part, so I'm pretty sure you've gone through some merge. And then if you can, a journey should be like from the time you started to where you are. That would be really interesting for us to listen.
I started in Region 2, and the first alliance I started in was Destiny. The name was, or DZT, I think was the tag. And I think we were top of that region up until the alliance reached about 100 million power, which was big in those days. But then Ember opened up 2 region ports for everyone. I think there was 9 regions in total, or maybe 8 regions in total. So a few of us guys in the Destiny crew thought we'd go and have a look around and see other places. So we moved to Region 8 at the time, and a core of the Destiny guys stayed in Region 2. So we sort of split up at that point. In Region 8, when we first got there, we still went under the tag of Destiny, and came up against an enemy, the other bigger alliance in Region 8, which was End of Days. And at the end of the day, they smashed us around, to be honest. And a lot of the Destiny guys went over to them and joined them and are still with them, I believe. Or, the crew of End of Day guys, I think they're with Blitzkrieg in Region 30 at the moment, but still a lot of the End of Day guys are in there. So after Region 8 merged with Region 11, I believe. At that stage too, I joined a crew called Death Machine after DZT got smashed around by End of Day. So I stayed pretty much with Death Machine the whole time I was in Region 8. And then when Region 8 merged with Region 11 and became Region 22, I was still General of Death Machine at that time as well. So towards the end of Region 22, I merged Death Machine with Mount Olympus, and that's currently where I am at the moment in R30.
And with all the journey that you've been through, I'm pretty sure you met millions of people. So we have a lot of people in this game. So if you have to kind of name a few people that you think they are really good at this game, it could be attack or defense, or even they are small, but the knowledge that they have acquired in the game is pretty awesome. Do you want to name a few of them?
Look, yeah, I'll probably name a couple of past players that aren't currently playing the game, but these were players that were enemies of mine in the game. But essentially, your enemy is where you learn the game inside out. Learn to avoid their attacks and all that sort of stuff. So first off would be Clubbin. Clubbin was a player, the top player for End of Days. He knew his way around the game. He also had a fairly big wallet, I guess. It was at a time where the game, in my view, the game was, I suppose, heavily toward the paying player.
Yep.
Other players couldn't really compete on a scale with the paying player, but there were ways around a lower paying player could still grow and still learn and play the game, and it was coming up against these types of players. Another player, I guess, was KG Fighter. He was another guy that was very good at attack, very very good at finding resources, people hoarding resources and stuff like that. So he would bounce around and keep you on your toes. Once again, he's no longer active, I don't believe. Or he may be. Who knows?
Maybe under a different name or something.
I'd say he'd be using the same name.
And just talking about the alliances and people, I feel like the Region 29 and 30, what keeps people going is the SLC and UN War. I would like to get your take on that. Do you think it's still going on, and what's the update like? And
look, my take on it is it was a manipulated war. Before the mergers of into 3 regions, having 29, 30, and 31, I believe that it was all just rumour and hype, which eventually turned into, I don't believe that in actual fact that there was anything really put down that they were going to go at each other. They were just 2 big powerhouses in the game at the time, and there was a rumour mill that was started. That was my view on it. As far as the war's going, look, I don't see a lot of activity from the SLC front, to be honest. I hear the UN side, and I hear of the UN guys that are in 29 fighting the battle, but to me there's not a lot of activity, I believe, from the SLC side. I believe that they self-destructed in some way within their ranks. A lot of their big guys and big players are seem to be in Rise, I guess, in 31. There's a few in Section in 29. So there's even a few in Region 30. I don't really think SLC as such are really in the war.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure there are some incidents that might have happened in the past that would have triggered in the first place the grouping, and then the camp, and then so on and so forth. But I'll be following on this war closely, and if we get more information on the war events. I think recently Fight Club was also in Region 30. Is that right? So I'm not sure whether they are part of SLC or some of the people who were in SLC got into this. I have no clue, but I feel like it's kind of continued, but under a different umbrella. Is that what do you think?
I believe so. Yeah. Look, the Fight Club war that's going on in R30, they're getting in players from SLC. Mm-hmm. They're getting in section players. They're getting in Rise players. So there's definitely the other big groups in the other regions are still have SLC players just under different tags, so to speak. So I guess there will always be an ongoing war for who's the top dog. I guess you've got to find the alpha dog, don't you?
And on the game aspect, so I just wanted to kind of tap your knowledge that you've acquired throughout these years. You've been a general, and now I think you are one of the person in the leadership team. What do you think a general should be like? It could, in terms of qualities and things that he or she exhibits.
Look, it's so different in so many different teams. The way the game's changed now. I guess there's infected city hitting teams, and there's other teams that are just straight out fighting teams. Then there's other teams that are, I guess, just teams that stick to themselves and grow. So I guess the general of each team really needs to just lead by example. What direction that team's looking to go.
And your favorite troop type and infected leader? Again, it's a tricky question. Again, there's no one solution to all the problems. But in terms of favoriting something, I'm pretty sure you might have something. So any favorite troop and infected leader and human leader?
My favourite troop from the start has always been the pickup truck.
Nice.
Pickup truck, and like it just does everything. Yep. Like, there's so many different variations. Like all the troops play their part. At the moment, like I like the tier 1s because of the meat shield they provide in attacks. Tier 2s, they play their role for me in infected city attacks. So many different variations. Obviously, Panzer, you can't beat them for hitting people. Z-rigs, if you find a bank, mm-hmm. Z-rigs loaded with the right leaders, you're taking 700mm chunks out of banks. Any particular troop, sort of has its purpose in the game, I guess. There's no, with the variations of what's going on and, people attacking, defending, pierces, you can't beat pierces for
attacking
defense in your city.
Yeah, and your favorite human leader and infected leader?
Yeah, look, favourite human leader at the moment, I guess, would be the Finn for his attacking and wall capacity, stuff like that,
Yep.
Just that little bit extra. Look, infected leaders, because there's so many different combinations nowadays, I don't really have any one particular. I can say Geist because I've gone through that painful raid journey and don't have to do it again to get him. So
true.
And look, he's helpful in infected city attacks, but I've seen people use no infected city attack leader and still have good results on infected cities. So there's just too many combinations to have favourites, I guess.
I mean, I never got to a good combination. I've heard people giving me tips on what leaders to use on icy hitting. I used exactly the same and I still lose a lot more. So I gave up and I said it's probably me.
I was just saying that's just the thing with infected city attacks. Do you know what I mean? Like there's so many different variations and so many players in even my team that use different combinations with different combinations of troops. Which works for them.
Exactly.
And that's the best thing I could suggest to anyone. Smaller players and stuff like that are starting to hit them and get into crews that are that way inclined. Is just start small and test different combinations. Something's going to fit, something's going to work.
Yep.
And you just go from there.
Sounds good. Yeah, I wanted to kind of also touch on the IC hitting tips. You did start with trial and error would be the best way to start with. So again, you know how much of troops you got to send and how much you will lose, etc. Is there anything else that you wanted to add on top of it? Again, there are a zillion combinations that I've heard so far in IC hitting, but I'm pretty sure your team does a lot of good IC hitting. So any other tips apart from trial and error that you want to share?
For the smaller players, I guess just start small. Start with, say, 10,000 tier 2 troops and attack a small city and just look at the results and then play with your numbers up and down and take it from there. Once they get their ranges unlocked, use tier 2s as your meat shield against the infected and throw in a couple of ranges there to take out the majority of it and, find your numbers. It all depends on people's research, to be honest.
Well, definitely, yeah. I think research plays an important role there. And about the game, I've seen over the past few years, there's been some, it's like up and down, right? And in the game, so there are some moments where you see a bunch of people just leaving, and then you said new set of players coming in. But we are at this juncture, in my personal opinion, it's like, okay, now we have so many regions now merged into a handful now, so a few, and now I think we are kind of at the end where you might get one big region. I don't know if that's going to happen, but do you think the game still has any life, or more people quitting after this region hopping feature started?
Look, I think it's got life in the fact that it's the playing field's become even with Ember introducing infected city attacks as a benefit in the game, providing you can get a good team that can work the infected city attacks economically. There's no use having a couple of big hitters and stuff like that, taking them out for the whole team, because it just doesn't work out economically for the big hitters. But as far as, look, the game, I don't think it'll die. There's so much, rivalry going on and, rubbish talking between the regions of, who's who in the zoo and all that sort of stuff. So I think so. Do you mean, like, you're always going to have people quit, people that, get to a certain size and then, their mouth gets bigger than their playing ability.
Yep.
And they'll get, they soon get pegged. Generally, they're the ones that are quitting, I've found over the time. So
to Ember, so I don't know whether they're watching these videos, but if they do, what I'm trying to do is to compile a few things that feedback from the good players like you to tell them any enhancement they should work on and things they should stop doing.
Look, the biggest enhancement I think that they can do is fix the lag in the game, whether it's scrolling the map, whether it's nuking a player, just whether it's hitting an infected city. There just always seems to be lag in their game, which annoys people.
Yep.
At the end of the day, DNA is another sore point. That's just a stupid introduction to the game.
Yeah.
Realistically, I think I've heard suggestions. I think I've heard you say that, they should introduce maybe the lab to build hybrid leaders, mix a couple of leaders together and use big amounts of DNA.
Yep.
So it becomes important in the game and so on. Ideas like that are good, but at the moment, DNA is just rubbish.
Yep. And I really thank you a lot for giving your time to me and for the channel. I'm pretty sure a lot of players would learn. And always I tell the people that they can approach you if they have any questions or any concerns. I'll kind of leave your line ID if you agree to it. Otherwise, I'll just take those questions and I'll message you so that you can answer them. But thanks again for your time.
Cheers. Yep. No worries at all.
Thank you. And have a good day. Bye.